Hello, Seiiti Arata. It can be difficult to realize when we're being rude to others, especially in the middle of an interaction while it's still happening. Often we only hear it from close family and friends because others usually won't tell us what they think directly. Usually they might say it behind our backs. And it's very important that we become more aware of our communication style. And I know if you're trying to be authentic and honest, you have some resistance. You may not want to change who you are. You don't want to lie or pretend to be someone else, but at the same time, you probably want to improve how you communicate and how you connect with others. See, communication is a very important part of our relationships, and it's therefore important to be aware of how we talk to others. So let's discover some strategies that you can use to improve your communication and avoid seeming rude or disrespectful. By being more aware of your communication style and making a conscious effort to be more understanding and respectful, you can improve your relationships and you can avoid offending other people. I know that you're working on your personal development. That's why you're here. You want to be closer to the people you care about. And the good part is that all of this is possible when you improve your communication, and your tone of voice is more important than what you say. It's really important to understand that the way we communicate can be interpreted differently by other people. Even if we don't intend to, it is possible that someone may feel that we're being condescending or rude. And a big factor here is in how we communicate is our tone of voice. The way you say something can convey a feeling of superiority, even if the words that you're using are neutral. If you use an arrogant or disrespectful tune, it can make the other person feel humiliated. So here's an exercise for you. You can open your phone's camera and you can record a video of yourself. Just record saying a phrase such as, "You caught a cold because you were dancing in the rain last night." Try to say it with the tone that you usually apply when other people say that you're being rude. Now, think of ways to say the same sentence but with a different tone of voice. Try saying it as if you're sad. Now try to say it as if you're mocking the situation. Do you see the difference? You can also make small changes to the sentence using small sound bites like, "Look, we both know why you caught a cold. It happened because you were dancing in the rain last night." Or, "Oh dear, looks like you have a cold. You were dancing in the rain last night, weren't you?" Experimenting with your tone of voice in this way can really help you to understand how it impacts the way you present yourself. And by being more aware of your tone, you can avoid seeming rude or disrespectful. So remember that it is not just about the words that you say, but also how you say them. Pay special attention to your tone. Try to use a respectful, understanding tone. And this can make a big difference in your communication and help you to improve your relationships. Don't let your facial expressions speak louder than your words. Be careful with your body language. Just as tone of voice is very important in your communication, it is also important to use appropriate body language. There are several indicators of body language that can make you appear rude or condescending. So here are some the classic examples. Crossing your arms over your chest. It suggests that you are closed, that you are unapproachable. So when you're crossing your arms over your chest, this can make you seem defensive or just uninterested in what the other person has to say. So to avoid this, try to keep your arms uncrossed, open. This shows that you're engaged, that you're willing to have a conversation. An easy way to do this is to hold your arms in front of you instead of just crossing them over your chest. I know it can sometimes feel uncomfortable to have your arms like hanging by your sides, but try to resist this temptation to cross the arms. Just hold them like this, and this simple body language change can make a big difference in how you present yourself to others. Another one is raising one side of your mouth. This can make you seem like you're expressing contempt. And contempt is characterized by a feeling of superiority towards another person. If you do this while you're interacting with someone else, it can make them feel humiliated or as if they don't really matter. So to avoid appearing rude or condescending, try to maintain a neutral facial expression and really pay attention to your body language. Instead of expressing contempt, you have to show acceptance, understanding for the person that you're interacting with. And if you notice yourself doing this unconsciously, try to be more aware of your facial expressions. Make an exercise, make a conscious effort to maintain a neutral expression. It can be helpful that you practice in front of a mirror or with a friend so you can get feedback on your facial expressions, and then you can ensure that you're presenting yourself in a approachable, a respectful manner. The main reason this usually happens is because we don't respect the principle of sum cuique. This leads us to have a cognitive distortion and make us think that our job is to judge other people and correct them, how they are behaving. You can watch episode number 297 of the Hello, Seiiti Arata series so you can learn more about sum cuique, pointing with your finger while you're speaking. This can seem authoritative. Yet this gesture, it can make other people feel like they're being lectured, they're being scolded. So it's just a habit. If you have the habit of pointing with your finger while you're speaking, try to break this habit, change it. Use an open hand instead. This can convey a sense of openness, inclusiveness, rather than superiority. To make this change, you have to be more aware of the hand gestures that you make while you're speaking and make a conscious effort to use an open hand instead of pointing your finger. This will, of course, require some practice, but with time and with more awareness, you can break this habit and you can improve your body language. Remember that your body language is just as important as your choice of words when it comes to communication. When you become conscious of your body language, you make these conscious changes, you can improve your relationships and you can avoid being interpreted or seen as rude or impolite. In our personal development course, you'll see that any change begins as a conscious competence. And if you practice enough, it will become more natural. It become a unconscious competence. Make a conscious effort to communicate better. And in no time, you're not going to have to do this effort anymore because it will become natural for you. Personal development is the process of improving yourself, improving your skills by moving from unconscious incompetence to unconscious competence. You can become more skilled, more efficient in areas such as communication. This involves being aware of the areas where you may not be competent at the moment, making a conscious effort to improve, so you can practice until these skills become automatic. In our personal development course, we'll guide you to climb each one of these levels of competence. First, we have unconscious incompetence. This occurs when you are unaware that you're doing something wrong, or you don't know how to do something. For example, you've never thought about the impact of your tone of voice, how this has an impact on others. So you might be unconsciously incompetent by not using a respectful tone. And then you have conscious incompetence. That happens when you have the realization, oh, you're doing something wrong, you don't know how to do something. For example, you notice that you tend to use an arrogant tone when you're speaking to others. And now here you might be consciously incompetent in this area. And then finally you have conscious competence. This happens when you are aware of what you're doing. You can do things correctly as long as you make an effort, as you remember. For example, you make a conscious effort to make a use of a respectful tone of voice, a body language, and then you become consciously competent in this area. And then, at the end, we have unconscious competence. This happens when you're able to do something automatically without having to think about it. For example, you've practiced using a respectful tone of voice, a right body language. So now you can say that you became unconsciously competent in this area. You will automatically use these skills in your communication without even thinking about it, without planning. It is important to remember that personal development is a continuous process, and there are always areas in which we can improve. So by being aware of our competence and making a conscious effort to improve, we can move Through all these levels, we can improve our communication style, our communication skills, and many other areas in our lives. Remember that you're capable of changing and developing personally. You can even move from the level of conscious competence, which is already good, but you can even become unconscious competent. By paying attention to the nonverbal skills in your communication style, adjusting them to be more respectful and open, you can improve your relationships. You can avoid being perceived as impolite or rude. Make a conscious effort to be more understanding or respectful. And then you'll see significant improvements in your relationships with other people. And to get started, you can visit right now arata.se/personal development.